I would like to buy a hamburger. I would like to buy a hamburger.
A hamburger sounds so good right now. I don't care what time of day it is. I would love to eat a hamburger, a good, greasy, especially if they like smash it. You get a little bit of crust around the burger or around the patty. Oh. When people started doing that more and more in restaurants, because that's been around for a long time, the idea of smashing a burger. But when they started realizing, hey, we should do this more in restaurants and offer it up as, an option. Oh my God, pure heaven, pure heaven. And we got a flat grill thing that we can add to our regular grill. And I need to do that. My son and I were talking about that the other day. We're foodies, okay? Listen, I'm fine with that. And we're like, ooh, you know what we need to do? Let's buy some beef and let's make some smashed burgers. So excited for that, because then we're like, ooh, what spices are we going to add into the mixture? Because you can't just throw down meat and maybe a little bit of salt. No, you got to get those flavors inside the ground up beef. And I don't think you can use ground turkey for that. You might be able to. I don't want to do that for my first time, okay? I want all the beef, okay? Not some lean beef, okay? That's when you're sitting there going, should we get married to it? I don't know. Maybe we go with the lean beef. But right now, I want that big, fatty beef to make some smash burgers. You're welcome. That's what I started with. You're welcome. Because I was going through the sound bites and I saw this and I'm like, oh my God.
I would like to buy a hamburger. I would like to buy a hamburger.
Steve Martin, by the way, great actor. One of my favorite comedic actors is Steve Martin. There was a point in time where I kind of liked Chevy Chase, but ultimately, not so much. Plus, I've heard a lot of bad things about Chevy Chase. Never heard a bad word about Steve Martin. Every time he's in a movie or a show, he's just funny, okay? And then you add in Martin Short. Martin Short rubs some people the wrong way, but if you've ever watched him doing Jiminy Glick, where he's wearing that fat suit and he's interviewing celebrities, like one of the funniest ones that I saw recently was with Jiminy Glick, which is Martin Short, him interviewing Bill Hader. Oh, holy crap. The amount of tears that come out of Bill's eyes because he can't stop laughing is beautiful. I'll have to find that and grab some clips from it, because just the random questions that Martin comes up with, and they're all Martin Short and Steve Martin, they come from the era where there's a lot of ad-libbing, a lot of shooting from the hip comically, and they're just really freaking good at it. They've been doing it forever. Just the same way that any comedian nowadays that is just getting their start, you fast forward 20, 30 years, they're going to be even sharper on their comebacks. So if you've never seen it, you need to. I'll try to post that somewhere. Find it. I'll paste it or post it on my Facebook page and or my X page as well. But anyway, yeah, hamburgers sounds delicious. When I used to work mornings, I'd get up at like say 2:30 in the morning, get to work eventually about 3:45, 4 o'clock in the morning. But that meant by 8 o'clock, I was craving burgers. I was craving lunch. And it sucked because, there's nothing open at that time. And by the time I got off work around noon, then I'd finally, hammer a burger. But there'd be times where, say, we would get a company come in and they'd show up at, say, like 10 o'clock. And I'd be hammering like the wings and the burgers if they brought it in. And everybody'd be like, how can you eat a burger so early? Like, well, motherfucker, I got up early. Unlike you, who just rolled out of bed. Anyway, I love me a good burger. I'm sorry that you obtained nothing in this opening segment other than the fact that I enjoy freaking slamming meat down my throat. You're welcome. There, I just made it sexual for you. Then you're like sitting in the corner, smoking a cigarette. Duff, it's always sexual for me. Okay, it got weird. Today's a different type of show. We got so much interaction with you guys, the listeners. We're going to do a lot of the mailbag. The sports section is phenomenal today, even more than usual. And we're doing Ask Cowboy. Ask Cowboy is up and running. So we're going to do that. And Connery's lingering around. So who knows? He may, sidetrack this one. But it's going to be a lot of fun. So stay tuned to this show. We're going to have a blast. Don't forget to hit the like button, the follow button, the subscribe button, whatever it is, to make sure that you're locked in with this show. And every time there's a new episode, you're going to get notified, especially if you just click on that little notification. And if you're doing road trips or, maybe you're in sales or you're a trucker or something like that, or maybe you work in a weird place that has shit signal, you can do the auto download on, say, like Spotify or whatever platform you use. Since it's audio, it will take up hardly any space. Just telling you, makes it easy for you. That way, when you listen, you don't get any interruptions. But anyway, today's show is presented to you by Roof Goat USA. I'll tell you more about roofgoatusa.com here in just a little bit. But today's show is also presented to you by ZipRecruiter. If you're running a business, you're running the front of the house, back of the house, whatever, okay? You're trying to find good employees. Sometimes it's a pain in the back end because you might get a bunch of resumes, you might get some applications, but the thing is, they're not always the ones you want. Let's just be honest there. Sometimes you get a stack, and out of that stack of, say, 50 applicants, 2 are what's good. Oh, my God. It's so frustrating. Well, trust me, as somebody that's had to do that, you just want to bang your head against the wall. Well, to add some relief, ZipRecruiter is helping you out because ZipRecruiter's smart technology identifies top talent for your roles quickly. All you got to do, you can try it for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. Again, their smart technology helps you out. Immediately after you post your job, ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology starts showing you qualified people for it. Come on, man. That's the way you want to do it. It works immediately. It's frustrating when you work with some other things and you're just waiting and waiting. ZipRecruiter, no, they know you're busy. And you can use ZipRecruiter's pre-written invite to apply message to personally reach out to your favorite candidates and encourage them to apply sooner. Very cool. Ditch the other hiring sites, trust me, and let ZipRecruiter find what you're looking for, that needle in the haystack, the one that you've been searching for so long. Try it for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/audio, ZipRecruiter.com/audio. And what's great, it's free. There's nothing wrong with free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And what we need to do right now, I told you guys, we're doing it a little different today. Forget the headlines. Let's jump into the mailbag.
Mailbag. You've got mail.
Before we go further into this, I do appreciate when you guys have the time. I know you're busy, but when you have the time to actually interact with the show, it makes it a lot of fun. It makes me feel like I'm not talking to myself, okay? So I love it when you guys are able to do this. I'm going to start off from the Spotify section. A lot of people are starting to interact with Spotify. I encourage you to do that because every time you interact, whether it's just a fire symbol or a smiley symbol or you're actually writing something, it just helps disperse the content to new listeners, and that helps me, and I do appreciate it. The dude wrote in, if they, Taylor and Travis Kelce, ever break up, Swifties are going to riot. Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. We talked about it yesterday. It's already buzzing today. The episode hasn't even dropped yet. And the little snippets that they've released, because they know what they're dealing with. They know Swifties are freaking crackheads when it comes to Taylor Swift. And they're just dropping these little random clips of the show, and I kid you fucking not. Kid you fucking not. Exactly what we said was going to happen. The Swifties are all about it, and they're just like, oh my gosh, she is a natural at this podcasting thing. Oh my God, did you guys catch the end? Or blah, 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 blah. Oh my God. I'm just saying, you got a mouthful of Taylor Swift, and it's humorous, but it's also one of those things, I got to admit, good for her. Good for her. But holy fuck, I'm already tired of it. Already tired of it. Blah. But good for her. And her fans are happy. I will say this. I haven't really heard anything negative about Swifties. I feel like if you're a Swiftie, you handle yourself respectfully. I don't hear much of people, getting in, fist fights at a Taylor Swift concert. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe there is. Let me know. Are you a Swiftie and you always start to start the mosh pit at one of her concerts? That would be interesting. I don't think it would work, but hey. Dino Lover said on Spotify, you should start doing a show at a Starbucks lobby, save money, studio space, and reach new listeners. That's in regards to the thing in Korea that we talked about the other day, where they're cracking down at all the Starbucks in Korea because people are just bringing their office equipment as well as dividers, partitions. That's what it's called, where they're like making a little cubicle at the Starbucks and doing their work. Kind of brilliant, but really freaking dickish. I don't think I could do that. I'd get in trouble for that. America's a little different. Unless I'm sitting there stroking off the company, that otherwise, they're not going to do it. They're not going to allow that shit to happen, especially the stuff that I say. Like, I think that guy's talking about donkey dicks over there. Oh, my goodness gracious. Yeah, I heard it. Why would I talk about donkey dicks? That's weird. You'll see why I mentioned donkey here in a second. Not because of Carl. Carl says, I want us to fight aliens like Independence Day. Because we have that alien probe thing that's allegedly on its way to Earth. And it'll be really close by October. Which, by the way, I posted that. I posted like a little promo video, a snippet video of that conversation. I posted it on TikTok, and half the people are like, yeah, that's hilarious, because I mentioned something about Todd from Subway, blah, 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 right? And then there's a couple people are like, oh, I can't believe you called so-and-so just a scientist at Harvard. He's clear, he's a, astrophysicist, blah, 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 blah. And then somebody else was like, you're just now hearing about this? This stuff happened over a month ago. Well, here's the thing that I didn't bother to respond to, is the guy came out last week and made another official statement. That's why it's trending again, dickhead. God, some people, nerds. I just riled up the nerds. That's what happened. Ultimately, Carl's right. Let's just start fighting aliens. Hey, we come in peace. Whack, whack, whack. Like Independence Day. Welcome to Earth. And I got a big cigar in my mouth. The dude said, the dude responded again. He said, would you bang a hot alien? Asking for Connery. Connery. Yes. Would you bang a hot alien? That's a stupid question. I banged the shit out of them, and I banged several hot aliens. Oh, you're talking from intergalactic beings. Yes, either or, I'm banging aliens. Hey, speaking of that, I banged your mother last night. Oh, Connery, God damn it. Get out of here. I'm just saying, I'm a lover. Okay, so Carl and I, maybe you too, will be fighting aliens. Connery's going to be banging them. Okay. Iron Donkey, this is why Donkey popped in my head. I worked with a guy that would rip constantly, smelled like death, He laughed every time like a 2-year-old farting in a tub. That's gross. I don't like that. Ugh. I know there's always that guy. There's always that guy. Maybe not all throughout the year, but there's always somebody that gets hired in your office that is just gross. Whether it's farting or, they always got a stuffy nose and they're always blowing their nose. And they don't just blow their nose. They finish it off with a finger up the nose with the Kleenex, and they're just like, ugh, yeah, really, twisting their hand to get the remaining boogers out. Oh, so gross. So disgusting. Or they just make weird mouth sounds or throat sounds. Ugh. I wonder if I was that guy ever and I just didn't know it. I probably picked my nose a lot when I was at the radio station because that place is dirty. I don't know if it still is. It is horribly filthy in there. The cleaning crew was afraid to dust anything because they didn't want to mess with the equipment. And they would vacuum, but those floors were fucking gross. I mean, my allergies really calmed down and I felt so much better physically once I, quit the radio station because I wasn't around such a pile of just nastiness. So gross. It's weird, the stupid things that you just kind of fantasize about. I wanted to bring in a carpet cleaner and clean the carpet just to see how nasty it was. But then I sit there and go, it'd probably break my carpet cleaner because it was so nasty. Anyway, you don't want to be the guy that everybody talks about behind your back at work because you make stupid sounds. But here's the thing. They might not know it. So maybe you just say something. Be like, hey, could you not, gargle your coffee or whatever gross things that they're doing? You have to at least give them an opportunity by letting them know, hey, this drives us nuts. And that doesn't always mean you have to go to HR or the boss. You can pull them aside as a colleague / friend and be like, hey, but hold on, I say that. But then the way things are nowadays, you might get called into the HR office because you're like, hey, Scott, sit down. Greg over here says that you pulled him aside and addressed him and, really worked him over and embarrassed him in front of other people because he clears his throat too much, in the office. Did you know he has a medical condition? He can't help it. And Greg's in the corner just crying. Come on. See, that's what sucks. I say, just politely talk to somebody about things that piss you off about them. But you say it nicely so, they can be aware. But there's a good chance that they're going to rat you out and tattle on you and you're going to get in trouble. That sucks. Oh, God. I do not miss the corporate world dealing with, sensitive Sallies. When I worked at the radio station, you didn't, even in restaurants, you didn't really deal with it that much until the later times in radio where you're starting to get a lot of the pussies coming into work who just didn't want to work hard and they just wanted to skip the grind and immediately start making $1 million a year. Oh my God, that was frustrating. But I will always remember this. I remember having a meeting with the board ops and I'm leading the meeting and I'm going through all the things that we need to accomplish on a daily basis, what the expectations are. And I want to say, like, out of, say, 6 employees, there's probably more, but I don't recall, but I'm just going to say 6. There was 3 of them, about half of them, I guess you could say, in this situation. Half of them, you could see it went in one year, out the other, and they are still going to perform like shit. But then the other half were like, okay, I get it. Okay, I need to step up my game, or I need to make sure I'm bringing my A game every single time. And I remember one of the guys came up to me afterwards. His name's Jake. He used to be my intern. Then he got hired on. He's now doing something big and grand with, I think it's Pella. Is that what it is? Pella Windows or something like that. He ended up getting out of media. But I remember him telling me after the meeting, he pulls me aside, or we're just off to the side, and he goes, DeHuff, I'd run through a freaking brick wall for you after that. Thank you. Like, dude, I'm like, whoa, that was great. Apparently, I got through to 1 out of 6, and then, maybe half kind of got it. I thought that was cool. Anyway, the other people probably were emotionally damaged after that because they're like, I can't work hard. That's not fair. I just want a paycheck. Anyway, Seth wrote in via DeHuffPodcast@gmail. He said, I think you should flip the influencers world around. Stuff your pants and film exercise videos. As a guy, I think that's hilarious. Here's a good follow on Facebook. Eddie Hall. He's one of the world's strongest men. He's friends with Brian Shaw, who's a local guy here in Brighton, Colorado. Also a world's strongest man. But Eddie's from the UK. Hilarious dude. What he does a lot on Facebook is he takes snippets from influencers who film themselves working out. And they're always these really inappropriate, showing off their ass, their vagina, or their breasts, right? Like, really, I can't imagine being in a workout environment. You're trying to work out and somebody's doing these very obvious sexual things and they're filming it, right? When you see the videos, you'll see what I'm saying. Then to Seth's point, if you think about it, but by the way, what Eddie does is then he duplicates it or he replicates it as like with him and his buddy or something like that, and just does it from a male perspective, and it's pretty fucking funny. So Seth, I think that would be hilarious, and then not even bring it up, not even just try to draw attention to the fact that you have an oversized package in your spandex and just be doing the workouts. I think that would be hilarious. Because it is kind of weird how, like, I get it. Ladies, you shouldn't be sexualized. You should be appreciated for who you are as a person and stuff like that. And like your work ethic and just, are you a good person? Blah, 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 all that stuff, just like anybody should. But then you have influencers that are working out and all they're doing is showing off their boobs. And they're making bank off of it. I get it. I would do the same thing. Could I do that and start making a buttload of money? I think I would have to start up a new Facebook account because I don't want to do that with my DeHuff Uncensored Facebook account. I'll just start doing squats with, I'll go to King Soopers, go to the deli section, get like one of those, things of salami or pepperoni, stuff it down my pants, and start working out. Where's the green dildo company? Go send me a dildo, and I'll do workouts with it down my pants, but never reveal it. We joke about that. That could be an on-tap market. Be like, hi, I'm DeHuff, and today we're going to do some squats. And it's just me, and it's just like flopping around in there because I'm wearing, like, say, basketball shorts. Listen, ladies are perverts too. They are. Listen, I know there's some ladies listening, and they're like, oh, we're not perverts. And then as soon as the guy leaves the room, oh, my God, we are such perverts. Seth, I like where your head's at. I think we should do that. We'll start a page. Actually, you know what we could do? We could start a page, and then we'll just all contribute to it. So there's multiple talents, and then we'll just all, share the revenue on it. You'd have to do it evenly because because something's going to go viral, something won't, whatever. I have that thing right now is just it's always weird what goes viral. And by the way, if you follow me on Facebook, there's a reason why I post a lot of Shedeur Sanders stuff, because it fucking rolls out there and goes viral like crazy. I post Bo Nix stuff. I post Jerry Jones, which is coming up here in the next segment. Jerry Jones does pretty well too, but Shedeur Sanders, that's hot, baby. That's hot. So I do that because I'm monetized and that shit works. Which, by the way, real quick. Yesterday's show on Facebook did really well as far as the live version, because I always do the live. I stream it live on there. And I led off on purpose with Taylor Swift allegedly joins the show. And there's all these people that tuned in. And I tell my wife, I was like, I think there's a lot of people on Facebook that don't know what allegedly means. Because I was like, she didn't join the show, clearly. So it's just funny to me. Sorry. It was just an obvious spike in listens and watches, whatever. But anyway. Hey, we got the sports section coming up. Plus, Ask Cowboys right around the corner. But real quick, when it comes to roof repairs, you're going to want to go with the best. You're going to want to go with the GOAT. Who's the GOAT? Say it with me, folks. Roof Goat USA. They've been in business for over 23 years. They understand the headaches that go with fixing a roof. I've been there. It's so frustrating, especially if you're dealing with insurance, who is starting to push back and say, you know what, maybe we don't want to cover roofs and shit like that. So sorry for cursing, but you see what I'm saying? You need to jump on it now. Get your roof inspected. They do it for free at Roof Goat USA, and have them come out, inspect it, and see if, replacing your roof or repair. Sometimes it's just a simple repair. But either way, get in on that before the insurance companies say, you know what, we're done. Okay? Especially out here in Colorado with our crazy weather that we have. So check them out, roofgoatusa.com. They prioritize the safety and comfort of your family, making sure that your home is well protected against the elements as they do the repairs. And guess what? They do such a good job after the fact. Once you're done, you can put your mind at ease because Roof Goat USA guarantees their work for 30 years from install date. That's all materials and labor covered for 30 years from date of install. That's the Roof Goat USA way. For all your roofing needs, do it. Contact the GOAT, 303-495-4630, 303-495-4630, or go to roofgoatusa.com. Again, roofgoatusa.com. Experience the Roof Goat USA difference today. And what we need to do right now, let's do it. Let's jump into sports.
He's walked the hallowed grounds of Folsom Field, Coors Field, and Mile High Stadium.
He runs at the 50. He runs at the 40. The guy is drunk, but there he goes.
It's time for sports with DeHuff.
I was just telling you that the hot people to put on social media to get some traction, and especially if you're monetized, is Shedeur Sanders as well as Jerry Jones. And part of Jerry Jones's deal is he tends to say stupid shit. He does. And thank goodness he is not the Denver Broncos owner. I think there was a point in time where maybe people were like, ooh, yeah, Jerry Jones would be great. No. He says dumb stuff like this.
I want me some glory hole.
Yeah, always looking for that glory hole. Oh, me too, Jerry. But then yesterday, I saw this.
I do believe if we're not being looked at, then I'll do my part to get us looked at. The Cowboys are a soap opera 365
The
days.
screening will begin.
When it gets slow, I'll stir it up.
Please take your seats.
And so it's wonderful to have the great athletes, have the great players. But there's something more there. There's sizzle, there's emotion. And if you will, there's controversy. That controversy is good stuff in terms of keeping and having people's attention.
Dude, first of all, sorry, it's a little muddy with all that stupid background noise. But the point is, what did he say? He's like, oh God, I forgot. But basically, it's 365, it's Cowboys, and if nothing's going on, guess what? I'm going to stir shit up. Do you want that from your owner? No. Who's worse, Jerry Jones as an owner or the Montforts as an owner? Who is worse? If you're a professional athlete and you get the option of, okay, your owner's going to be Jerry Jones or it's going to be Dick Montfort. Which one are you going to be less excited about playing for? That's kind of a tough option. Or, what are you going to do? And then Jerry Jones is over there saying, like, we're a soap opera, 365. Okay. Jerry Jones needs to sell the fucking franchise. I know he's not going to. I know. He's not. By the way, Jerry Jones and the Cowboys are worth $12.8 billion. The Rams are worth $10.43 billion, Giants $10.25, Patriots $8.76, 49ers $8.6 billion. The Cowboys have been ranked number one all 6 years of this Sportico's valuations. Last year, the Dallas Cowboys were the first team to crack $10 billion. Jesus Christ. Did you know Jerry Jones bought the Cowboys for $150 million back in 1989? That's a great investment. His investment has increased 8,433%. Listen, yes, the Cowboys are a great financial franchise, but they're not really competitive. They are similar to the Colorado Rockies. Man, I would hate to be a Dallas Cowboy fan. I know a couple of you out there, Chris, Brandon, you guys love the Dallas Cowboys. But man, when you hear shit like that from Jerry Jones, who says, we're a soap opera, if things, settle down too much, I'm going to stir the pot. Come on, Jerry. Jesus Christ. I miss the Jerry Jones that talks about glory holes, though, because I think he's missing the boat. He really just needs to go to have all through Texas, what you need, at least the Dallas area, anytime there's a truck stop, have it a Jerry Jones themed or sponsored glory hole. I think that'd be great.
I want me some glory hole.
Oh, look at this. You know what's great is they smooth the interior, so you don't have to worry about getting scraped. You don't. It's not like somebody just, carelessly drilled a hole. Okay, they put some time and effort. I think this is silicone around the hole. This is fantastic. It's fantastic. You know what? Jerry Jones is all about catering to those who, use the glory holes. You're welcome. You're welcome, folks. I went on too long with that, but you're welcome. You're welcome. Bo Nix was sitting down with Kay Adams, and alongside Bo was his boo, his number one receiver, Cortland Sutton, and they were talking about practice yesterday.
I like the narrative that we had a good practice, but I wasn't necessarily too excited with it today. But that's just, probably.
What about it? What's on your list?
A true starting quarterback.
What's your list of ticked off
Well,
things?
I just, I felt like starting from me, the energy could have been better today, but, I just got to do my job better, and, until it's perfect, it's not done well enough. So,
Fair enough.
We're excited just to be able to learn and grow together. We got a good football team, but we don't want to just be talk. We're going to hear that enough. We want to go out there and actually be a good football team. So it doesn't happen by accident.
I like that, but it also kind of worries me a little bit that sometimes Bo might be overthinking situations and think it needs to be perfect. And sometimes, guys, you've watched football and sports in general enough where you can look at it and things don't have to be perfect. We were talking last week where Bo was, practicing when plays get blown up and you have to think on your feet type of thing like that. But listening to this, it's like, I know he wants it to be perfect. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but I would like someone like, I know Tom Brady's with the Raiders now as far as an ownership group, but it would have been great for him to, talk to somebody like Tom Brady. Bo kind of seems like he has the same mentality as Peyton Manning, which is great. It's great, but I wonder if that can wear him down as well as maybe some of his teammates down if he's always striving, always demanding perfection and not appreciating the chaos of a play just working. Maybe it's just maybe I'm just overthinking it. Maybe I am. And maybe that's just over analyzing what he said. I just don't want him to fuck his own head up because that's very easy. Very easy to do in sports, in business, everything. Get inside your own head and just jack things up. But listen, I would rather have that mentality from a quarterback or a player of striving for quote-unquote perfection than somebody going out there and be like, yeah, if it works, it works. Bubby Brister was the opposite of that, of essentially shooting from his hip. And it worked for Bubby. But that's not, I would rather have somebody that's over-prepared and is willing to put in the work to strive for that perfection. But it just worries me a little bit that he can get inside his own head. He probably won't, but that's just something to throw in there. Like, Bo, take a breath, okay? You don't want to be that guy that is just over. We're starting baseball practice tomorrow, and, something that can easily happen, and my son's admitted it. He's like, sometimes I just have too many things going on in my head. And that's where you try to get the muscle memory, and that's where you try to get to the point where you don't have to think as much. It's just a natural reaction. And he's getting better with that. But the fact that he can openly admit and be like, yeah, there's times where I just get way into my head and I think about, like, am I doing this right? Am I doing that right? Should I try to crush the ball or should I just try to hit the ball? First of all, don't ever try to crush the ball. That's when you're going to miss. You're going to strike out. Just make contact with the ball. And you do your body work, your back control. You do all that stuff right. You don't have to try to kill the ball. You still have to have quick hands. You have to have your body in the right positions, do the right things, but you don't try to kill the ball. You try to murder the ball, you're most likely going to strike out. And anyway, so we don't need to go down a baseball journey, but by the way, I'm excited for baseball to start. I cannot freaking wait to see the team, see what we got, and start making them, you will have fun, God damn it. Allowing them to have fun, but helping them grow into better baseball players. That's what I'm excited about. That's what's great about this level of kids. What we need to do right now, guys, is I think we need to do it. Let's ask Cowboy.
Ask Cowboy.
Ask the Cowboy.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw!
Rolling.
Ask the Cowboy. I need to change that open. That is terrible. Hey, Sean, if you're listening, we need to redo Ask Cowboy. You're smarter than me and more creative. Let's see if we can make one. Anyway, Cowboy, you ready to go?
Heck yeah, I'm ready. Let's go, Scotty.
All right, the first one, Cowboy says, my husband is addicted to cannabis, and it makes me want a divorce. What should I do? Cowboy, what should he do?
Well, I think what you need to do, lady, is go ahead, go to the weed store, buy him a gigantic bag of weed, maybe some edibles, the good stuff. Just ask the fellas behind the counter. They'll tell you the right direction to go. And a couple bags of Ruffles. Those are always good. Maybe some dip to go with it. And get him to sign some papers when he's all jacked up in the head and leave his dumb ass. Because
I mean, come on. That ain't all balls being overly consumed with a product like that and forgetting about his lady. Come on, son of a bitch, man. Then kick him in the dick if you want. I don't know. I'm just saying that's an option. Okay, Cowboy. Okay. What, is that too sensitive for you? God dang, man. You such a pussy.
Oh my God, Connery or Cowboy.
Such a jerk. Such a jerk. I'm sorry. I'm just a little upset today. Maybe I need some of that cannabis. What's your hubby's name? We'll go get high together. Okay, anyway, Cowboy. Whatever. This one says, Dear Cowboy, how do you make a steer? Thanks, Michael. That's really freaking awkward. Connery, can you take this one? I just feel dirty answering this. Well, that's fine. I'll do that. Okay, sir, Michael. When a daddy loves a mommy cow, they bang. Like I banged your mother last night. That's a good one, Connery. Son of a bitch. I knew you was going to do it. You guys are terrible. What? We're just bringing people together. And that's how you make a steer, dumbass. Okay, thanks, guys. You guys are terrible. Terrible. Hey, if you guys want to ask Cowboy, I guess Connery, something, go ahead, hit me up, DeHuffPodcast@gmail.com. You can always direct message me at DeHuffPodcast on all my platforms, or you could just write on my timeline. Either way, again, at DeHuff Podcast. You guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for, supporting my sponsors, Roof Goat USA. Go to roofgoatusa.com, as well as, Jesus Christ, ZipRecruiter. I had a frog in my throat. Hey, that's what your mother said last night. Instead of frog, though, she said something else. Connery? Jesus Christ. My God. Anyway, you guys are amazing. Have a wonderful day. Let's continue to move forward. I'll talk to you next time.